I'm going to add another table. Create Query Design, close SQL View. And there's quite a lot in this table. The table, as you can see here, is going to be called hires, and we're going to have a start date with a date time data type, an end date date time data type, a yes no field, a number field, another number field, text. So we've got quite a mix of fields in here. And then we've got something interesting going on here. We have a primary key. That's straightforward. Then we have a foreign key, and the foreign key is going to be the customer ID field. So that must come from another table. That references to the customers table. The customer table's customer ID field. So you should be able to read that by now. What that means is you're going to create a foreign key in this table, the hires table, called customer ID, and that will link, reference, relate to the customer ID field in the customers table. You're doing another one, another foreign key. This time it's going to be on the registration field coming from the cars table. And let's run that query. So it gets quite easy to read SQL after a while, and you can see in practice what it does. And I'll call this one hires. I'm just reading the first name here. If you forget what the name is, just read it off here. Hires SQL. Okay. And I sometimes like to check, to just look at the relationships, make sure everything's working okay. And the problem here is you can't see that the table you've just created. So remember to find how to show all your tables. Now, interestingly, it doesn't add all your tables in the order you create them. It puts them into alphabetical order. So locations at the bottom is already visible, but hires is not. So hires is jumped in front of locations. It's just alphabetical. So let's add the hires one and then close. Now it starts to look a bit messy in here. It doesn't really matter. It's only for a human to make sense of, so it doesn't matter to the database how this looks. It all adds up properly in the database, but for a human you might not like the way it looks, and you might want to start moving things around so that it's easier for you to understand. And you can do that any way you want. Probably best to do it when you're finished the whole lot. But here's how it's starting to look. So it's starting to take shape.